Welcome
Welcome
to Shade in the
to Shade in
City.
the City.
I'm Treese,
It's Nels.
and today we are jumping right back into Married at First Sight. Just saying happy Saturday, people. We know we are a little behind. Woo. And last night was mad real. Y'all will hear about that in another video. The bad customer service is draining, y'all. Bad customer service is draining. But anyway, so let's get into this episode and let's catch up with the couples and see if anybody is still married. Let's get into it and let's get shady. Coffee, love it. All right, so we are 24 days until decision day, guys. I think we're at day 32. We catch up with Noi, who feels some type of way because she walks in and he's still in the bed living his best life, sleep. And, she's just like...
Him and Sushi.
Him and Sushi. While, she's hard at work. So, I mean, I get it. When you're hard at work and you see somebody in the bed till 1, 2 o'clock, yeah, that might get under your skin. I can understand that. So they venture off to the dog groomer for Sushi, and they, their cute little family. And she just wants to see like how he's going to take care of Sushi, because she feels like that's a great indication of how he would take care of a child. So basically they go and he actually takes part in the grooming process, and he gets behind there, gets his hands dirty. And I thought that was really cool, because my whole point was, if you were going to a groomer,
like, it was mainly him.
Well, yeah, but I guess my whole point was, if you're paying somebody, why am I doing it?
He wants to bond with Sushi.
Yeah, no, if I'm paying you for a service, then you'll do it, and you can just hand me the nice freshly cut dog when you're done. I don't need to pay you to come wash my dog myself. I could have did that at home in the bathtub.
That's not the only grooming part, Treese. There's more to.
But we learned that they are actually open to getting another dog. And Steve said he was really open to possibly a Labradoodle. So I thought that was cute. And then Steve meets up with Mark. They are hanging out on the beach, and they're discussing their relationships and how things are going. He said that, Mark says that the good outweighs the bad with Lindsay. But for the most part, Steve talks about how his issues with Noi and the fact that she is constantly on him about having a job. And he's starting to get irritated.
He actually asked Mark about his job situation and if Lindsay was supportive. And Mark is like, yeah, she's super supportive. And he actually,
he almost said too supportive.
Like, too supportive, right?
Right.
And Steve gets into, I guess, their situation a little bit more, and he's like, I feel like he kind of doesn't get it. He's just like, if I have all this money saved up,
right,
I'm paying 3 to 4 times the amount that you are. What is the issue? And if you don't have a legit reason as to why I need to get a job right now, as like, is it because we need to buy a house and I need to have employment for that? Or like, what is it? Why is it that me having a job is so detrimental? And I actually kind of feel him. If I've worked hard enough to have all this savings where I can pay most of the bills, what is the issue?
All right, Shade Squad, we're gonna need y'all to drop down in the comments, because I feel like this is a very hot topic. Now we've already heard rumors that Steve got a bag. We don't know how much is in the bag, but Steve got a bag, whether it be his own bag, his parents' bag, an inheritance bag, something. Steve got a bag that allows him to have this level of comfort where he feels like he does not need to return to work. Clearly, this is not comforting enough for Noy. So what do you guys think? Do you think that he needs to get a job and get off his ass? Or do you think Noy is just jealous because she doesn't have the same privileges that Steve has?
And if she is, I can understand. I can understand the jealousy. I can understand you saving up enough money to be able to stay home, chill, enjoy your life while I have to work. I can understand that, right? But if you're jealous, just say that. And then maybe he can say, you know what? I had enough savings to last me, you know, comfortably 3 years, right? And if it's a jealousy issue, then you know what? You quit your job too. We'll just do it for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Rather than saying you need to get a job, you need to get a job. I mean, and you know what? Also, maybe he also just needs to say, hey, I have all this savings. Let me show you my bank account.
I was gonna say, I think that the communication, he needs to speak up about what's actually in his account with his wife.
I think I don't know, because I feel like it's both ways. I feel like it's a lack of communication on both ends, because if she's not saying that, you know, I'm okay with you staying home as long as you have a great amount of savings, I just need to know what it is or how much it is, then it's like, the fuck I need to show you for? Because your issue is me getting a job. I've told you I have savings. Clearly, I'm paying most of the bills. Basically, your check is like for you, and maybe you're paying like a couple things. So it's not my savings. The issue is, regardless of how much I'm paying, how much I can afford, and how little you have to dig in your pocket. The issue is, I get to lay down all day. I get to rest all day. I can chill. I can go to the beach and hang out with Mark and shoot the shit.
Damn sure can. So that leads us into our next scene, Noy and Steve, where they are taking Sushi for a walk. And Steve just wants to make sure that, you know, he's good and attended to. And as they get back into the house, Steve lets us know that he feels like he's taking on more responsibility for Sushi than he anticipated. So when he brings that up to Noy, and basically it's like, well, how do you feel about splitting these responsibilities? And she's like,
as far as cleaning and
right,
and everything.
And Noy is like not here for it, and she feels some type of way and basically tells Steve to kiss her ass.
She basically feels like, you know, he has the time to do more tasks because she's working. And he's like, well, can you do one bathroom? I do one. He's trying to split the task. And she's like, no, I feel like you should do it all. And here's another thing. If you get to keep most of your check, I'm paying damn near most of the bills because I have a savings. I still get to chill. It's not my fault that you don't have the free time. Okay. If we're partners, boo, use some of that check to get a dog walker. Use some of that check to hire a maid, to maybe, you know, a couple days out the week, take some time when it's your time to clean. Why am I paying most of the bills and doing most of the tasks just because you have to work? Fuck out of here.
And basically, Steve does say that he feels like he's not getting the appreciation, and it's more like an expectation now. So then Noy lets us know that she's worried about this basically life after decision day. Steve is trying to like talk to her and be like, so what's up? Like, where, you know, what basically plan for the future. Noy basically talks about how she doesn't even want to combine households at this point because she's not sure she wants to be with someone or live with someone or have financial responsibilities with someone who does not have a job, and not knowing whether he can afford the rent or the bills or whatever. And she'd rather stay in her own place and he stay in his, which obviously makes Steve feel uncomfortable because he's like, what the fuck are we doing? We're married. She goes on to try to convince him and tell him that people do it all the time. Married couples do it all the time. This is normal. So I guess they're gonna try to Alyssa and Chris it, I guess. So then Noi meets up with Sriracha. And Sriracha, she basically, tries to delve into like, how's the marriage going? What's going on? And, Noi basically starts off by praising Steve and, talking about all the good things that he does. But of course, she brings up the fact that he brought up to her taking on more responsibility, which she felt like, of course, you don't work. So how dare you ask me to do anything more? So clearly work is, I noticed Noi has hard lines. Like with the kids, Noi has hard lines. And when she feels a certain type of way, she feels a certain type of way. And clearly work is a hard line for her, regardless of the amount of money you have. And this is her hard line. So we'll see if this is going to be a deal breaker, because clearly she's just not here for the not working of it all.
If I was Steve and I have a bunch of money saved up that I can live comfortably and help you live comfortably as well, and you're still telling me to get a job, and I feel like I've worked my ass off to save this money, that would be a deal breaker for me. I would tell you to kiss my ass. So apparently, Steve tells Noi that why don't you show me hypothetically like what you would do, like if I was working and we were splitting the housework, like hypothetically, which I thought was fucking hilarious. So you want me to clean, bitch, but it's hypothetical. So Sriracha's like, well, why don't you tell him to show you what it would be like if he hypothetically had a job?
Gotta love Sriracha. She's on fire.
I said, God damn, these shady motherfuckers here. So Sriracha's just like, I feel like she's kind of eating this up a little bit. She's like, you would have never picked a man like this. One who doesn't work, basically, and now you're married to one.
And she's like, I know.
But I also thought it was funny because, Noi is going through talking about, he told me he loved me. And Sriracha's like, after a month? Little does Sriracha know, boo, your sister did it first. Right. Okay. Like, that's why Noi defended it. Well, I mean, in this process, it's like, Jesus Christ. So then Steve, he FaceTime with his sister-in-law to discuss the relationship with him and Noi. Apparently she already knows about the noodle situation, because that's what they call it, the noodle situation. I didn't know that was actually like the name for it. I thought we just call it the
and I don't think it helped that Noi posted about it online. I think that may have been the reason why the noodle situation even came up. Like with
she posted about the noodle situation. I thought she just posted some like subliminal message.
Yeah, but then of course I'm sure they called him like, what the hell is going on? And he probably told them about the noodle situation.
And he also expresses that he told Noi, that he doesn't feel like their business is for social media, because when she does those things, that's her husband. So automatically
people assume that you're talking about your marriage.
Exactly, as well as him. So apparently she posted something else along the line saying that she deserves better.
Yeah. Know when to walk away and when you deserve better, something like that.
And he asked her, was that about me? She tells him no, which I don't know.
We all know it's bullshit.
So, the sister-in-law is like, well, for now, you have to believe her because you don't have anything else to go on. Like, she told you no. So, and she basically tells him that, she told you that she's the type to need her space.
Right.
as far as this living in two different places thing. And she tells him, you know,
That's what she needs.
give her,
You might have to give it to her.
give her what she asked for. I mean, and you know what? I agree. There's no point in smothering her. There's no point in trying to make her see why it's supposed to be this way or why it should be this way. Give her the space she's asking for, boo.
Well, we see Mark and Lindsay. Lindsay is trying to get a hold on these cats and let them know who's boss. This is
Queen
when
of the
you know you
castle.
have too many damn cats, Lindsay and Mark. But you know, that's here nor there. So as she's doing that, we see Mark has decided to take it upon himself to make a whiteboard. He, you know, just breaks down things like when's laundry day, or, you know, just trying to get a schedule together and a routine together for them as a married couple. When they're gonna have movie night, who's gonna cook, and they talk about meal prep. And it seemed like it was a very good conversation because they were working together, and basically trying to plan out their week and still, you know, plan time for each other. So I thought that was dope. She does ask Mark for unplugged attention. Where he doesn't look at his phone, he's not, you know, into something else. And you could tell he's a little hesitant because he's like, I don't understand. But I mean, I get it. I sometimes have to do that myself and be like, put my phone down. It's hard. So then Lindsay and Mark go to the farmer's market and they are going on their first shopping trip. And as they're grocery shopping, Lindsay is just in her happy.
Oh, it in the bag.
And I get it. If you are a fruit and vegetable person, a farmer's market with fresh stuff is like, and I can understand for Mark who don't even eat that stuff. So to him, he's like, you throwing all this shit in the basket that I do not eat. And
he's a little bit aggravated because they only have $150 shopping budget, and he's like, she's picking up all this shit, and this is not in our budget, ma'am.
So they cut to Lindsay in the confessional, and she talks about how she used to pick on all her girlfriends because all of their husbands are what she calls chicken finger men, where that's all they eat. Chicken finger, their palate is just very simple, very to the point. I've dated a man like that, irritates my soul. So I could understand why she was just like, oh my God, I'm married to a chicken finger man. Poor thing. I feel for you. And you could just tell she just tries to get him to try, and he's like, nope, I'm good.
And it's so funny. I think chicken finger men don't realize that that's like a
negative thing.
Yes.
I don't think, but you know what's so funny? I don't think they care. I told you, I dated one, and they really, that's all they want. They don't care. Then we cut to Mark and Lindsay again, and Lindsay's pissed off. I hate how they have these like breaks. We see them like having great moments, and then we always cut back to Lindsay being in the camera. I hate Mark. I'm done. This is too much. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So this time,
like, what just happened?
Apparently he messed up some clothes of hers. I don't know. Maybe Nels can break it down more for me, but it seemed like really blown out of proportion kind of argument. So maybe you can break it out.
I was a little bit confused. She said something about he messed up $250 worth of clothes by putting it in the dryer. And I don't know if it was her clothes. And he said, you know, it was a mistake. And I don't know. What I'm assuming is that maybe he was doing laundry and maybe her clothes were dryer sensitive. I'm assuming they're not supposed to be in the dryer, and he put them in the dryer, and now she's pissed because they're ruined. Is what I got from that. I don't know. It was confusing.
Yeah, it was super confusing. And then she starts to go off. So I will say, as a woman, I think, and I just think as humans, we do this, that sometimes one small thing that we're not really mad about, and then it turns into you release all your shit. And that's exactly what Lindsay did. because she starts to go off about how Mark doesn't have a budget for rent, how he hasn't stuck to anything that's on the whiteboard. And she basically says that this is no man of mine. I said, ooh, Lindsay. So Mark then meets up with his friend Erica to discuss his relationship with Lindsay. He says that they can enjoy things. He says, but when they have tough conversation, things tend to get really bad. He said he has to adjust to her and the way that she speaks. I can agree. Lindsay comes off super strong. Erica lets him know that they both need to be able to give a little and try to compromise. And they seem that they're both headstrong. And I think I got the basis of that conversation, but please add anything if you think that I missed anything. So then Lindsay arranged for the wedding photographer that did their photos to come by for a photo shoot with the cats. People might see it as corny. I think this is why I love Lindsay, because I'm the corny, hopeless romantic like that. So I don't even like cats, and I thought it was the cutest thing in the world. So she dresses up all
with their little shark costumes.
In shark costumes, and it's really cute. It's really cute. Mark walked in, and you could see a smile come across his face, and he thought it was a super dope idea. But then in the middle of that,
he wants to have a conversation.
And basically he was talking, Lindsay goes to chime in, and then Mark cuts her off and says, "Can I finish?" Then when she goes,
we already got the wrong type of energy for this.
Touch his arm or something to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he's like, "Why are you touching me like that?"
No, he said, "Don't." He's like, no, you don't need to grab me. And she's like, "Okay, I'm done."
Lindsay gets pissed off, walks away. And and so the photographer arrives. Lindsay's not there. And Mark starts taking pictures by himself. So basically when Lindsay comes back and she sees the photographer there, she just goes into the room and shuts the door. And she's like, "Yeah, you should be doing this by yourself." So finally the photographer tries to talk some sense into her. And no, what happens is Lindsay starts to pack her shit. She says,
and Mark walked in.
Mark walks in. He basically lets her know he does want to do the photo shoot. He wants her to at least stay for the photo shoot. He didn't say he cared if she left, but he wanted her to stay. No, because I was waiting for him to be like, "No, babe, don't leave tonight," or something. He was like, "No, can you just do the shoot and then you can go?" He was clear that he just wanted to get the photo shoot done. So they basically put on a happy face for the photo shoot, fake the funk for the camera. And they did a really good job until they had to take a picture of just them two by themselves.
Then it was very awkward because
you could tell that it was
super happy,
awkward, unhappy married couple in that photo. They looked happier with their damn cats. So, and that was pretty much Mark and Lindsay. So they are all over the place again this episode. It's not looking good, guys. Not looking good. Catch back up with Miss Katina, and when we left her last episode, she was in tears, and her and Elijah were not doing well.
And rolling her eyes and
right.
I don't know. I was like, that's the side of Katina I need to see some more.
Right. So we do see her and Elijah finally. Well, before that, we see her run to Jasmina's. She's still clearly flustered, and you could tell she's still upset. So I imagine it was that same night or the next day.
Remember
her leaving? Face is still fresh, like she had just finished crying.
Yeah, because she was leaving, and I think that's where she was going.
Right. Which fucks Jasmina up, because Jasmina's like, "I've never seen." She was like, "I know it takes a lot to get Katina to this point," so she's really upset. So Jasmina's disturbed by it herself. Basically, she talks about, the whole situation with the app, and that she really didn't realize that she still had it on her phone and she had no, ill intentions. And Michael basically tries to say, tries to explain his point, but also let her know that you didn't do, your intentions weren't to do anything wrong. And you basically just need to kind of let him calm down. But I think that it is something that you can work through. He didn't say it was over, right? And she's like, well, because Elijah was mad. He was big mad, but he never said, "I'm done." I don't think I heard him say I'm done, but he was highly pissed. So go
I
ahead.
think part of it is not just what she did, right?
Uh-huh.
It's more so how he approached it. She felt it was super disrespectful.
Right.
The way he talked to her was super disrespectful. So
Right.
I think she's also hurt because of that. It's not just that, he's upset with this app being in her phone. It's like, okay, I get it. I get that you're upset with the app being in my phone, but can we communicate better about it? Can you
Right.
come and talk to me like a grown ass husband that you're always constantly reminding me you are?
Facts.
And I feel like she's valid. She has valid points in regards to that. So then Michael, he wants to go talk to Elijah Wan. And apparently,
and Elijah Wan is high as fuck again.
Yeah, he's high off his ass. Elijah Wan
I
is
feel like
nuts.
every time we see him, Elijah Wan look like this.
But you know what's funny to me? Michael said that Elijah Wan needs some time and he needs some space. Why you go down there the same night, knowing you ain't gonna get nowhere?
Right.
But regardless, he went to go talk to Elijah Wan, and Elijah Wan is not super receptive of what's being said. He's basically like, this is how I feel when like I feel like, I'm being done dirty, and I can't trust her. And
basically he got rid of all his stuff. He knew his lifestyle. I think that I said that last review, that I think he's so paranoid because he was such a hoe when he was single. And so he did everything that he thought a husband should do. So the fact that, but see what's so crazy, and in his, I'm not defending him, but I'm guilty of it myself. But piece of advice, Elijah Wan, people can't read your mind. And I have also gotten mad at someone because they can't read my mind, because I expect them to know what I'm thinking. And then I'm the one upset when they don't live up to my expectations. So I get it, Elijah Wan, but it don't mean that it's right. So
yeah, he felt like that. It made him feel like she had one foot in and one foot out.
One foot out. Yes. Yes. He did
just express that you're hurt. It hurt your feelings. And
right. That's it. So then we cut to them, I guess like a day or so ago. Apparently they had an ultimate screaming match where they got everything out, and they seem to be, they look like they were drained. So they definitely went through something. But they're in a better space. They're talking, they're, cuddling again, and, kissing and showing affection, and basically saying that,
they both
he talked about it. He apologized. She apologized.
Mm-hmm.
And they both understand where each other was coming from. And so let's hope that that's true. Let's hope that that's what really happened. I do think, one thing I will say, I do think Elijah Wan really is here for the right reasons. And I do think he wants his marriage to work. But I also think that he has his own ideal of marriage. So I don't know if it can work within his ideals. But then we see him chopping it up with Coach Mac. Coach Mac is kind of like a father figure to him. I guess he used to coach his football. I don't know. I guess Elijah Wan used to be some type of, he gives me vibes that he used to be like, if he wasn't pro, he was like a semi-pro or football, or like something like it was a lower, you know what I mean? He didn't make it to the NFL, but it was like a step down, like arena football or something. But basically they discussed the marriage, and he talks about the dating app that he found on Katina's phone, and about how him and Katina butted heads, basically. Coach Mac understands that he's passionate, but let him know that some things that you say in the heat of anger, Elijah Wan, speaking to you again, sir, because I do it, cannot be taken back. So sometimes you have to think about the shit that you say before you say it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, he tells him to tread lightly and, just continue to try to make a connection with her. And he hopes to see, Elijah Wan years from now with his whole family and his bunches of grandkids. And they'll both have no hair. But it's really, it's really cute that he's still pressing and looking towards the future. And I love that somebody was able to speak to him and get through to him. Because Olajuwon does not seem like an easy person to get through to, especially when he's in his feelings. So Katina then meets with her sister-in-law, I believe it was Anna.
Anna.
I think you'll probably have more on this scene because I only have, basically she does, Anna keep looking at Olajuwon. Yeah, you can go into that. Her sister-in-law kind of.
So her sister asked for a picture of Olajuwon, and I didn't realize that she asked for pictures with no shirt on.
Yeah.
So Katina's over here showing her the picture. She's like, he's got my approval. Yeah, he's looking fine. So they discussed that they haven't had sex yet, and she does let them know about the screaming match that they had, and she's just worried that this is going to be repetitive, that they've moved forward and they've forgiven each other, but she doesn't want to be in a relationship where every time you get upset, this is always a thing. So she's worried about exactly. So she's worried that this is just who he is.
Like this may be a pattern.
Exactly. And she lets her sister know, like her sister-in-law know, like, I had to change the way I approached him when talking to him or bringing certain situations to him. And the sister-in-law lets her know, well, he needs to do the same.
Right.
So then, they're giving each other kisses goodbye, and I thought it was funny. She was like, "Oh, I get a kiss." She was like, "Yeah, it's more than you getting from your husband."
Basically.
And Katina falls off the chair, y'all. She hit the floor. Okay.
That was cute. I don't think she was tipsy though. I just think she
No. I think she literally just fell. And then we are back at the house with Katina and Olajuwon, and it is Taco Tuesday.
Yeah. And this is something that Katina used to do with her homegirls. And so she wants to, bring in her boo, which apparently Olajuwon never did Taco Tuesday. So I thought this was a cute way to kind of like bond with each other. And I said, go ahead, Katina, putting in that effort. That's all that boy wanted.
Apparently he loves rice and beans. I guess she's tried to make it for him before, and it didn't turn out too well. So he's happy to have this restaurant food,
right?
That's not messed up. But so they got their tequila, they got their tacos, and their rice and beans, and he is super happy they get to use their dining room table for once. And yeah,
because they're like me and eat in front of the TV. Awful habit to start.
And I guess he talks about what type of child Katina was. And she mentions that she's had I don't think she said like she was bad, but one time she was supposed to be suspended from school. Her mom called up the school
and basically said, no, she needs to go somewhere.
She needs in-school suspension. And he was like, yeah, your mama look like she don't play that. And then Olajuwon brings up a time where all his friends were running from a principal. Was it a principal or a teacher? Principal. Well, I think it was a principal. And one of the friends got caught because he was slow and short. I said,
I think it was
great memory.
What was so crazy to me is because I don't know, like Katina's story was cute and funny, and then Olajuwon, it was like, that was like the funniest thing that ever happened to you. And it was very long-winded. You could see Katina trying to hold on and get to the end of the story so she could just be like, that's funny, babe. And she did a good job, but I'd be like, bruh, where's the end of the story? And then that's the it. He got caught. Bye.
And then he tells her that, he's happy he met her and he loves their marriage, which I thought was sweet. And I thought it was nice for him to give her that reassurance.
Right. Go ahead, Olajuwon. Affirmations, brother. Affirmations. Go ahead.
So apparently, Jasmina's job is changing locations. And Michael suggests that, okay, well, are they moving for?
First off, you cannot forget, Mike is over here eating fucking dog biscuits, y'all. He is over here eating Mr. Feeney's dog biscuits. That's how it opens up. All right. Now you can proceed. I'm just saying. That bothers me too.
And he said they was fire.
And he said, yeah, he was like, these are great. Maybe because she looked like she feed Mr. Feeney them organic. So it probably is damn near food. Organic dog treats with like the real meat in it. And but it's still nasty, but still, go ahead.
So Jasmina is talking about how her job is changing locations, and he asked, is it further away or is it closer? And she's like, oh, it's about the same distance. And he says, I was really just asking because I was thinking maybe you could start driving to work rather than taking the train. And she's like, well, how the hell that's supposed to happen? You gonna drive me? He's like, no.
You gonna learn to drive.
Your damn self. And she's like, sir, how? He's like, I got flashcards. We about to test your ass. We about to put you to the test. We about to practice for this goddamn permit, which I thought was super dope. I thought it was super thoughtful. Apparently they previously had a conversation where she expressed she's scared to drive. She don't know how to drive, and she's scared to. So she did really well on his permit test.
Right.
I think she got all the questions right except for one. So then we see Mike taking Jasmina out to drive to teach her. And he is way more nervous than she is. So actually, she's not nervous. She thinks it's freaking hilarious that he's so nervous. It's stopping her from being nervous. And she does really well. She does really well driving, other than the fact he feels like she's training for Fast and Furious. But I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he's just super scared because she don't know how to drive.
That too.
And she expresses that they're not necessarily becoming more affectionate, but they do love to be around each other. And she thinks that they're moving in the right direction.
Friend vibes. He's trying to be sweet and romantic, and I think that for her, it's still giving very best friend vibes versus husband, which is sad because Michael really is trying.
Let me tell you something. So according to Olajuwon's friends and everybody that he knows, everybody is saying that Olajuwon is trying. And Olajuwon is saying that he's trying. Now, do I see that as a viewer? Not necessarily. Okay. But his friends and family does. So I'm not going to negate the fact that he probably is really trying. Now, Michael, on the other hand, I can actually see him trying. He has completely changed the way he communicates to her. He is communicating throughout the day to her as she requested. And he is showing her through all these sweet gestures how much he cares about her. Let me tell you something.
Facts.
Look, Michael would have got it. I couldn't have been Jasmina. Yeah, boo. And after that last episode where he took them back to the altar where they got married, let me say something.
No, I would have been had to give him some. Yeah.
It would have been then. It would have been then. Okay. Now, out of nowhere, you want to teach me how to drive and stuff like that. Like, dude, you don't have to make a plan. You don't need to put on a whiteboard to spend time with me. You are literally.
Well,
I mean, it is, look, it is what it is. Okay. I hope. So Michael, he meets up with his sister to get her opinion on their relationship, and she lets him know, I thought y'all like had a nice cool vibe. Mm-hmm. Y'all seemed like y'all were comfortable around each other, and he expresses that they're on the same page mentally, he feels like, and that's pretty much it. That's, you know,
That's all it's
there-
giving.
that's all, exactly. That's all it's giving. And she's like, yeah, you know, well, I mean, I did see that you guys had fun together, and but remember, like, you know, it's the little things. It's the little, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like Michael's doing all
The little things. Yeah.
These little things are really little, but really they're big. Like they're like, you know. Anyway, so Jasmina is on the FaceTime with her mom, and the mom, you know, is like, you know, I'm big on pros and cons. So you let me know.
Right.
What are the pros and the cons? And she's like, you know, her and Michael are in a good place, and they're doing really good. They're having great communication. He texts her throughout the day, and the con is it's been a month, and she still doesn't have feelings for him. She's like, I still don't have feelings for him. And she's expressing that if she doesn't have deep feelings by decision day, she would ultimately have to say no, which sucks, because I don't know. I really like Michael. I really, really like Michael.
I like Michael too. Poor baby.
So Michael, here goes another sweet gesture. Okay.
Right.
Decides he's gonna make dinner tonight, because Jasmina always makes dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Jasmina loves to cook and things like that. So the fact that he's not even taking it for granted,
right?
Like, oh well, she loves to do it anyway, so I'll just let her do it. He's like, you know, I'm gonna do it tonight though. I'm gonna, and you can be my sous chef. Since you love it, you can be my sous chef. But I'm gonna cook you dinner. So he wants to make lasagna rolls, which it's so funny because even before I saw this episode, I was gonna make lasagna rolls, and I actually made them. They came out really, really good.
Yeah, she did a good job, Shade Squad. They look very appetizing.
So they made the lasagna rolls together, and basically, you know, Jasmina is basically stating that she feels like they found a good rhythm. And if things continue to work out this way, then ultimately, you know, she could see herself having feelings for him. But I mean, she didn't say this to him. I apologize. She said this to us, okay?
Right, to us, the viewers.
And the lasagna rolls are ready. And she lets him know that, you know, it's good, but it's a little salty. And he's like, oh, okay, like you talking shit about my food. She's like, I'm gonna eat it though. I'm gonna eat that shit though. That shit was good as fuck.
And apparently he puts I don't know why he ate it hot and didn't blow it and ends up burning his mouth trying to eat it. But apparently it was still good because he ate it. Mm-hmm. So hats off to Michael. I love the effort, and hopefully Jasmina will start to love it as well. Thank you guys.
Thank you
for joining us for another review of Married at First Sight. Please make sure that you like,
you comment,
you subscribe,
and you hit the notification bell.
Yes, and please make sure that you are following us on all social media platforms. And please wait around for the review of our Outback experience last night. Please, I promise you, it is entertaining. But yes, guys, we will catch you next week for another review of Married at First Sight. Love you. Have a great weekend.
Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Front, back, side to side. Make sure you go like and subscribe. Hey!